Hello and welcome to Easy Transition. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your calendar. It's time for you to get your calendar going. We're going to get started. So let's start by clicking on calendars over here. And this is what you would see day to day. You'll notice that it is empty because I haven't really booked anything. So we're going to go to settings. And over here in settings, I already have two calendars set up, and it's going to be one calendar for every service, especially if you're a service-based business. They combine. Let's go over some of these options here. So you have groups. This is for a spa. I have manicure and massage therapy, and these are two separate groups. I have a service menu. This is going to be what everything is housed under. So we're going to have this whole service menu. You can choose the service you want, and then you schedule it essentially. Rooms. So for example, if you're a spa and you have 10 rooms, then you're going to set up 10 rooms and you're going to attach that to your specific calendars. And when it's scheduling, it will take that into consideration so that it doesn't overbook, for example. Same thing for equipment. It's very similar to rooms. So for example, let's say you have 2 saunas in one room, for example. So rooms wouldn't count here, but the equipment might count. So you can put that in and you can assign one piece of equipment to one booking. I'm not going to worry about rooms and equipment today, but just know that you do have that in here. So we're going to start with groups. So if we go into groups, you choose the name. You want to put a description in the group. I didn't do one. You want to have your different calendars that go into this group. So in this group, we only have the 60-minute massage. And then template is new, and you need to give it a unique ID for the URL. Okay? So once you've done that, you can save and you're done. So let's go to setting up the calendar. So we're going to set up the calendar right now. And I have a 60-minute massage calendar. I'm going to do a 90-minute massage calendar. And I could go in here and duplicate this calendar, which is what I should do, and have all the settings set. I will do that. I will just go ahead and duplicate and I'll walk through it. So I'll duplicate this calendar because it's pretty much the same. So in here, I have my service details. I have my logo. I can make it look like a square or a circle. This one is circular, so it makes sense to keep it a circle. I'll remove the where it says copy of and just make this a 90-minute calendar. 90-minute massage, right? And this is going to say 90-minute massage. So much faster to just duplicate if you already have a couple, so you can build many of these very quickly. The group is going to be under massage, not manicure. And then I'm going to call this a 𝗪𝗺 spa, and I'll probably call this 90-minute. It's going to be no spaces, so put a dash, massage, and I'll remove this stuff here. Okay, so that's my URL. It needs to be unique. And then again, the appointment invite title is going to be 90 at 𝗪𝗺 spa 90-minute massage for, and the contact name is whoever's booking the appointment. Here you can choose all your staff members. So I only have one person in here right now, but you can choose multiple staff members, and it will do like a round robin to pick the staff based on availability, or it can let the user pick the staff, like the person booking pick the staff. And then location, so we can do virtual or we can do full address. This is obviously a massage, so it's going to be in person. So we're going to put the full address. All my massages, keep them blue, and that's fine. So that's a blue color for your calendar. All right, so that's the first part. Availability is pretty much when you're open for massages. So let's assume it's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you're going to keep that Monday to Friday. And then forms and payment. We can create as many forms as we want. This form is just basic. It keeps first name, last name, email address, and phone number. But you can create a form with anything. You can add like date of birth and a coupon code or whatever, right? You want to put whatever you want in here. And then maybe even a signature as usual. And then you can actually determine if you want to put the form as the first step when they're signing up, or the calendar. So I would put the calendar first because people like to just pick something and then give the information. This pre-populates the form. So let's say I've booked before. It knows who I am, so it will just put in my first name, last name, email address without me having to do it again. So definitely turn that on. And then consent checkbox, this is just giving them this thing in a checkbox to say that we can send them messages. Great. And then Facebook Pixel ID, that's if you're doing Facebook ads, this is great to put this in here so you can track the people who actually booked. Auto confirm new appointments. This is interesting. When somebody books, it'll confirm the appointment automatically. For a spa, I like to turn this off because what we'll do is that we're going to send them follow-up to get them to confirm. Technically, this goes to the next part, which is accept payments. We can't accept payments yet because we don't have a payment provider. But once we create a payment provider, and I can click here and connect any one of these, find your payment provider. I recommend just using Stripe. Stripe, PayPal, Square is a good one. I recommend Stripe. So get that connected. Once that's connected, you can go back to your calendar and you can accept payments and you can put a deposit or full payment, whatever you want to. If you're not accepting payments, then I would not confirm. And then I would follow up with text messages and stuff to get them to verify that they're coming, especially like 1 or 2 days before. Moving on to notifications. So this you can go in and configure for each calendar. So you could say I want to get in-app notification when somebody books, or I want to get email notifications, and you can go in and edit. And let's see, for email, we can say send the contact an email, we can draft the email, we can send it to the assigned user, and we can send any additional emails as well. I'm going to disable email for now and just leave it as in-app because we'll do customized emails for the user. Moving on to customizations, we have a cover image, which is great. This is a really nice image. It's a 90-minute massage. We can maybe give it a different image from the 60 minutes. So let's remove that one. And let's use something from our library. In our library here, we have some images already. Why don't we just grab this one? Or if we didn't have this, we can go to, let's say, 𝗃𝗃𝗍𝗶, and then search for a massage. And it'll give us some images from 𝗃𝗃𝗍𝗶. I actually like the one from my media. I'll just grab that one and put that in here. Boom, there we go. So we have a second image. And here we can change the colors, the color scheme for your calendar. These are just accent colors, so we'll change that later. And let's see, calendar title, name your calendar. Yep, we have that. Description and calendar defaults, that's fine. And then we can put custom code in here. Allow staff selection during booking. So this allows the person doing the booking to choose who they want to work with. You can turn it on or off. If it's off, it will automatically pick somebody, or you can turn it on and they can choose their person. I'll keep it off for now. And then rooms and equipment. If we had set up rooms and equipment, we could select them here now, but we didn't do that. Okay, that's it. Your calendar is ready to go. Let's go and test it out. So I'm gonna go back to my list, and you'll notice now I'm gonna move my head over here. Now I have 3 calendars. 2 of them are in massage therapy, and 1 of them is in manicure, pedicure. Let's take a look at my service menu. I believe, did I already go in here and edit? And in my service menu, you notice I have the service name, the description, the URL, a form. So the service menu is very similar to the calendar. You have a lot of the same things. And then your default, your redirect, enable staff selection. This is cool. You can enable it to add guests to your booking. We probably don't want this, but if you had a group booking or something, you could do something like that. I want to turn it on just to see how it works. And then we're going to do select services. And under massage therapy, we're going to include 90-minute massage. And then let's do arrange your services. So we want massage therapy to show up on top and manicure to show up on the bottom. But we could change that around if we wanted to. I'm going to keep massage on top. Okay, so we're going to save this. And we are done. So first I'm going to show you what the calendar looks like by itself, standalone. I'm going to go share, and you can send them a link, or you can embed it. We would embed this code on our website. So it would just show up inside of our website without having a separate link. So we would essentially make a new link on the website called websitename.com/book. And then they would have that calendar booked in. So that way it will look like your website instead of just being the standalone thing. But just for the demo, we're going to do just the standalone. I'm going to copy this and put it in here. And this is what your calendar will look like by itself. There's your little logo here, and it gives you your description. It still says 60 minutes, so let's change that. We're going to go to availability, I believe, and change that to 60 to 90. So it's a 15-minute service interval. This is going to show the availability every 15 minutes, even though it's a 90-minute meeting. When you book the 90-minute, it will know to adjust accordingly. Scheduling notice 12 hours in advance, that's fine. 30 days out to book, and a 15-minute buffer between appointments. So for cleanup or whatever. So there's your calendar. You have this look busy option. If you're starting out and you want to be like, okay, I want to make sure that I don't have everything open, I don't have that many clients. What you can do is you can say, I want to look busy 50% of the time. And then it would just block up the calendar, pretend that you have clients. But we're not going to do that, so don't worry about that. Now that we've saved it, let's go back and look at our calendar. Actually, it's already up here, so let's refresh this one. And this should change to 90. Okay, here we go. 90-minute calendar, and we can select our time, and it will give us first name, last name, so let's just try it. And then there's a test. And I do want to receive stuff, and I am going to schedule a meeting. And there we go, my meeting has been scheduled. I can add it to my calendar, I can do all sorts of things, and I am good to go. Okay, so we're done. All right, this would be embedded in our website again, but let's do it with this is just a single calendar. Let's do it as the service menu, and it's not very different. It just houses more services. So here I'll do, again, I would copy the embed code and embed it into my website, but this is the link. And let's see what that looks like. So very similar to this is, again, this will be embedded in your website. So you'll have your header and your menu and everything in here. And down here you'll have your footer. And this will just be your automatic calendar of services. So you can start putting a bunch of different services in here. So this is going to be like your massage therapy is up here. Your manicure, pedicure is down here. If you have like skin treatments, it'd be down here, and sauna would be lower down. So this was my 90-minute. You can see it says 1 hour, 30 minutes here. This is my spa, my manicure. So let's go ahead and book. And you have guests. I can say, okay, I need to give it a number of how many guests you can add, different services. Okay, so I'm going to say it was me and 4 guests. For my other guest, they want a manicure. And this guest wants a thing here, and this guest also, that's it. I can't, that's all I have at the same time. I don't know what my other guests will do. They'll just sit and watch. But anyway, let's continue. And it shows here, let's keep going, confirm. So I need to have services for all my guests. Let's see, because I only have one person scheduled, I can't book at the same time. So unless we had a separate thing for like couples massage or whatever. So we could do that, but I don't have that set up in the system. If I added more staff members, this would make it a lot easier. So let's go back, and we just can't have guests for this one. Until I add more staff members, it doesn't work. So even for just me, if I wanted to, I could add more services. So I also want a manicure, so I'm going to add that. And so now I have a 90-minute massage and a 30-minute manicure. So it's a 2-hour session, and then I'm going to continue. And it gives me my selected services, and I'm going to confirm. And now I get to pick my time. So I want to do this on Wednesday at 11:45 a.m. I'm going to hit continue, and I am good to go. It already got my information because I did it before, so I don't have to put it in again. And it gives me a little summary here, which is great. And I want to confirm that I want to receive messages, and I will schedule. I'm good to go. My appointment has been scheduled, and everything is in here, and we are good to go. That's it. There you have it. This is how you schedule your bookings for your calendar. Let's go back out of settings, and let's go back to calendars now. And there we go. So we could see that we now have, I did schedule on Tuesday. That was the first one I did directly on the calendar. It has all my information here. It's a Dairo Spa 90-minute massage for 𝗘𝗃𝗍𝗃. There's my email. Here's my appointment owner. It's a 90-minute massage. It's me. I didn't do rooms or equipment, so it doesn't do that. And I'm good. I'm unconfirmed because I set it up that way. But the owner can now come in and send me a message and confirm, and we can see confirmed. And there we go. But there's other statuses here like canceled, showed, no show, invalid, unconfirmed, right? So you can set up different statuses. And then in here, there's your assignee, all the information from the form. So if you have more form information, it would show up here. And you can add internal notes. Needs a light massage only, or something like that. So you can save that as an internal note. So you have notes for when they're coming in. And activity log, you can see pretty much the entire history of what happened. You can now see all your appointments. You can click on users, and you can see, show me all my appointments for this person. I can go to calendar, show me all my appointments for these calendars. That's done. And then groups, I can show me all my appointments for these groups. And it shows you how that works. also shows you the day option. Look at that. The day option is pretty cool. So I'll do calendars. Okay, there we go. So there's my appointment here. And if I wanted to confirm this one, I would confirm it. And it should get dark. There we go. And you could book new appointments directly in here without having to do anything. You could do this directly from the mobile app as well. If you need me to make a second video for that, I can. This was your masterclass in creating your calendars for EZMS. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for watching.